Hey, everybody. Welcome to this special edition of Coaching from the Couch, the Washington Commanders update, where right now we are focused on recaps of rookie minicamp. I am your host, Candy Seawald Waller from Bowie Television, and I am here to give you all some insights from being on site inside rookie camp. It was day 2, so I can't wait to share with you all everything that I saw and took away from the day. For the returning viewers, welcome back. To those who are new to Bowie TV, welcome. So glad that you all are here to join us. Definitely enjoy the channel because there's a lot for you all to enjoy. Let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to do this a little differently than I did with day 1. With day 1, I kind of said, all right, let me reflect a bit on last year. Let's talk about how things started out on day 1 and let me get into some observations. So now I'm deciding, okay, let me take you through kind of the steps of the day so that you can kind of see, all right, what do they do first, next, kind of how do all the things happen during rookie minicamp. So we're going to start out with Dan Quinn's press conference. He had that around 12:45 or so. He met with local media, and here are some of the highlights that I have from DQ's presser. Check it out.
On Johnny Newton. We saw his burn.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you brought that up. I meant to hit that earlier with Johnny. So, foot that he had procedure done is actually doing really well. So, has an issue with the other foot. So, he'll get a procedure done in the next week, and then get back started and get going with the process again. But man, we have high hopes for him. Like he is such a kick-ass competitor. So, in some ways, when you have to get a procedure done, better do it early. It just didn't happen end of August or in September where it sets you back. So the fact that it's happening now, much better to get that over.
Is that the same issue?
You were kind of lined up right there with the guys as they were going through plays. Can you share a little bit more and describe your approach to coaching and at this time of the year and the season?
Yeah, I think one of the favorite parts of my job is the teaching aspect of it. And so by being close and being hands-on, you get to hear a communication, you get to see a technique, and then you can immediately give feedback. I think the best of the best coaches don't have to wait to go inside for the film. If the step was wrong or the communication was wrong, you can address it right now. And in contrast, when it was really good, make sure you nail that too. That's the perfect rep. That's how it should really be.
So in the day 1 recap, I shared with you all that I didn't think that there was much to worry about with Johnny Newton's injury. We also shared a picture of Johnny where he was not looking too happy at all. So with this information of just some more details regarding his injury, where it's not the injured foot, it's the other foot now. Now we know what that sad face was about. And hey, he's ready to roll. He wants to roll. He's not necessarily ready to roll because of the injury, right? But you can tell he really wants to be out there with his teammates. I have to reiterate Dan Quinn's point, which is, hey, better it happening in May than August and September. So yes, this is something that we need to be watching and tracking and seeing how he's doing as time goes on. The other point and other highlight I wanted to share, you all heard my question to Dan Quinn about his coaching style at this time of the year. I also shared in the day 1 recap how I was just so impressed with how he was lining up with his players. He was right in the thick of things whole entire time. Really appreciated the comment. You don't have to wait to go into the building to watch the film. The best of the best. Let's repeat that. The best of the best, get it corrected right then and there. And to his point again, if they are doing something well, you're able to reinforce that point to ensure that the player knows that they're doing it the right way and keep that behavior, keep that energy going in the right direction. So those are my biggest takeaways. Again, it's just day 2. But with that being said, let me take you through kind of what practice looked like. So make sure you all tune in to this portion of it because you might see something that looks a little bit like day one. So you may have heard a familiar voice at the end of that video saying that they like it. So very much like day one, you see the players and the coaches getting ready for practice. Now, my media colleague from NBC4, JP Finlay, did ask head coach Dan Quinn about that specifically. And he said there's a process that they call bags. They, didn't get into why they necessarily call it bags, but it is how they want to approach practice. It's not a walkthrough. They have walkthroughs. So when it's a walkthrough, they walk it through. But this is not a walkthrough. So this is how they want to approach practice and the level of intensity. So what I cannot wait to see in terms of the observation, this is just rookie camp. So how is that energy going to transcend? And is this going to be something that the team does regularly? And if so, that's a good deal. The other thing I wanted to mention, the field is absolutely different. I mean, it's still Ashburn, but the field, they've definitely got some new lines out there. If you saw where the offensive linemen were working out, all of that was not there previously. So that is new, and I wanted to point that out. Now, much like the day one recap, I'm sure you all are like, okay, Candy, all right, Seawall, let's get a move on it, because I know you all want to talk about the quarterbacks. So here's what I'll say, very similar to what I said in the day one recap, because it's still very early. We're going to continue to say that as well. We're going to continue to say it's still early until it's not early anymore. So just know you're going to hear that a lot. My takeaway is going to still be Coach Cliff Kingsbury and seeing his active engagement with Jaden Daniels, Sam Hartman, overall with his offense. He's teaching. He's teaching. He's educating. He's right there up on them, and he loves it. To that point, there's been a recurring theme in the press conferences as well about guys that love football and people that love football. So that's starting to really show itself as well when you're looking across the field and around at everybody. Hey, these are folks that love what they do. They love the coaching, they love the intensity, they love the music, they love the education pieces of it. They all love it. And so that's kind of where I'm observing, that's where they're all built the same from that regard. They're also using the word competition a lot. If you go back and listen to these press conferences, they're talking about competition. They're talking about the love of it. They're talking about leadership and being able to see leadership characteristics across players. With that being said, I'm actually going to go back to one of the day one press conferences. Rookie tight end Ben Sinnott. He said a lot in his press conference. So let's go back to day one and take a listen.
Impressions of JD.
Man, I threw with him out in Orange County and really enjoyed spending time with him, throwing, running routes for him. I mean, he's a super talented kid, great dude, and one person I really like to be around and hopefully grow with.
When was this that you were with him in Orange County?
Yeah, so I was training out in Orange County for like pre-draft process. It was out at Golden West, so Sam was out there too, Sam Hartman as well. So got to be around both the quarterbacks coming in. So it's been really good to kind of have that chemistry and have that gel already.
I mean, you've been with several. Go ahead, Nikki.
Have you had a chance to deal much with Kingsbury, and if so, what are your impressions of him?
Yeah, just since I got here, the 8th at night, and then just yesterday working with him, and then coming in today, and I've just really enjoyed it. He's a guy who loves the game, wants us to win, and wants the best from all the players. And I mean, we're very like-minded in that sense, and we want to win and we want to get better. And he's the exact person that I'd want to do it with.
I mean, you've worked with a lot of different quarterbacks in high school, college. What are the kind of nuances, something that you picked up on Jaden that's really impressed you early on?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the ball placement, the arm talent he has. He's got the ability to make every throw. And, I mean, you see it all over the film, too. Like, he can run, he can extend plays, create explosives with his legs, throw it 80 yards downfield and create a huge play in the pass game. So, I mean, he's got all the intangibles, and he's a natural leader and a guy who brings his teammates together. So, I mean, I'm just very impressed with who he is and what kind of player he is.
How does he do that? How does he how is he a natural leader? What do you see him do?
Yeah, I mean, there's just guys who players naturally get attracted to, revolve around, and he's got that personality where you want to be with him, you want to work with him, you want to be watching film with him, you want to be out here working with him. So, I mean, he's just kind of got that it factor that you want in a quarterback.
What's it like to be part of, like, essentially a refresh, because half the roster is new staff?
Yeah.
What's it like to come into it kind of behind, you're just starting something new?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very blessed to come into this environment, like new staff, new people up front. So, I mean, it's cool to be able to be in this atmosphere, continue to just build that culture from our draft class. Obviously, we're the first class to come in, so being able to build that culture, get in with that new staff, kind of be that first person to lay that foundation, build that culture, and just grow as an organization. Just because, I mean, I think we got some great things ahead of us, and I'm super excited to see what we can accomplish.
First and foremost, everything that Ben Sinnott said about Jaden Daniels, I hope you all are taking note. I hope you all wrote it down. Please remember it. Please do, because it for certain shines through. Now, again, all the guys are doing well. They're doing fine. But it's really about the message that's being shared in terms of his character and how his teammates already feel about him. And it's May. So to know that relationships are already being built, Luke McCaffrey, rookie wide receiver, shared as well that he worked out with Jaden in Orange County. You hear Ben Sinnott say that he did it, and also Sam Hartman was there. So these relationships and this camaraderie is already being built in this rookie class. Let's add in the fact that, going back to some other information as we kind of pull in together all of the clues and information that we know about what's going on with this team right now, is that every veteran showed up for voluntary camp. Every veteran. It is, in fact, a new day. Folks do, in fact, want to see what's going on. And going back to the point that we know a large bit of the Commanders roster from last year did not return, right? I want to go to the point of what as well from Ben Sinnott about this rookie class being the first class for this leadership group. The owners, Adam Peters, Dan Quinn and his staff, and I meant to mention earlier in the presser, Dan Quinn called his staff world-class coaches. Okay. This class sets the tone for the rest, the future. This is it. This right here is it. So it had to say something. It had to say it verbally, but also in a very action oriented way. It has to show up in their character. It has to show up in their play. It has to show up in their studying. It has to show up in their preparedness. That is what we are seeing. A leadership group that is being very intentional about who they are adding to this team to not only, character, have the right attitude, the folks that how they want them to play, but also go out here and compete. That is what we are witnessing, and getting it right out the gate, or as close to right as possible, is key, because this class sets the tone of what this regime is going to be known for. The media can't return to rookie camp, and we're coming up on the final days of rookie camp. Media can return to OTAs next week, Tuesday, May 14th. Wednesday session is now closed to the media. We will be able to attend on Tuesday and totally understand, right? We normally, let me also acknowledge this. The media normally are not allowed, we're not given 2 days. And that's why we weren't able to do one-on-one interviews today. We did, and I neglected to mention this, we did meet with Brandon Coleman. His presser was after practice, but there were no one-on-one interviews, at all, because head coach Dan Quinn was nice enough to let us come back out for a second day. So we'll be back out there when the rest of the team is there. So it will be interesting to see this energy across the current roster. You all, that is the conclusion of the day 2 recap, which includes a little bit of day 1 as well. I couldn't help myself, you guys. But I sincerely hope you all enjoyed it for sure. And make sure you all have subscribed and following, liking, all of that Bowie TV across all platforms, definitely on YouTube as well. And if you are in the local Washington metropolitan area and you have Verizon Fios, get your cable back. Don't cut your cable. And if you have, get it back. And if you still have basic cable, Verizon Fios Channel 11, Comcast Xfinity Channel 77 is where you can find Bowie Television. You all, thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, it is Mother's Day weekend, so to all the moms out there, enjoy your day. Much love and blessings to you all. For all those who are missing their mothers this year, many blessings to you all. I love you all very, very much, and I'll be praying for you, okay? I am Candy C. Waller from Bowie Television, and this concludes the Washington Commanders update from the Coaching from the Couch series on Rookie Minicamp. I'll be seeing you guys again soon.